Okay, so I will continue Fourier series solution. Okay, step number 3, which is a Fourier series solution in this example. Okay, I will show the step number 3 through this example. But it's not only step number 3, I will combine also with step number 1, which is separating the variable. Step number 2, solve the separated equation, and step number 3 is Fourier series solution in this example. Okay, so through this example, so that you can see how we want to cater or how we want to answer for PDE equation. Okay, so if you can see, this is the example here, the real example. I mean, not just find blah blah blah. Okay, this is the some sort of question that will be asked in the final. Okay, so determine the time dependent solution for u at t when du dt equal to 4d square u dx square. Subjects to BC ke? BC is stand for boundary condition and IC stand for initial condition. Okay, so if you can see here, your BC they have two, because it's BC is boundary, right? So boundary, usually we have, imagine that you have one road, so this is the first boundary and this is the end boundary, so must be have two boundary here. Okay, and this is initial condition. Okay, initial condition given this. Alright, so how to answer it? Okay, you need to follow the steps. So the first thing first, because of this question just ask you to determine, the question didn't ask you to find which which type of this PDE, so you don't need to do the classification. Okay, you don't need to do the classification, yeah, B square minus 4AC, you don't need to do that. Okay, so what you need to do is, okay, we start with the step number 1. You need to separating the variable. Okay, separating the variable. So step number 1, so u at t equal to x at dt. Okay, then what we do next? By refer to your equation here. So du dt you will replace with du dt. So du dt means x t prime equal to 4x double prime t. Okay, they have 4 here. They have a coefficient 4 in front there. So you just put 4. And then what we do next? We divide it by x t. Okay. So this one can cancel. This one can cancel, so you left with t prime over t equal to 4x double prime over x. Right, okay, so you can see that one side we left with t only, and another side we left with x only. So this is separable. Okay, so when you get this question is separable, then baru you can continue with the step number 2, which is solving the separated equation. Okay, alright, so okay, I just continue here. Okay, so since you have this equation, so we will, okay, one more thing that if you can see for this example, they have a 4. For the previous example, we just have 1. I mean, it's balanced lah. Okay, so what we need to do when you have a constant or coefficient in front of this, you need to bring these numbers to the order 1, to the first order. Okay, t prime, x double prime. T prime means first order, x double prime means second order. So we know that second order is more complicated lah compared to the first order. So what we need to do is we need to bring this 4 to this first order. So you will have 1 over 4 t prime over t equal x double prime over x. Okay, so you need to bring this, okay, this 4 to this side. So for step number 2, like I said before, is solving the separated equation. So this equation we will equate to k. Okay, we will equate to k. Alright, so which one that we want to cater first? Which one that we want to answer first? We will answer for second order or x equation first. Okay, we will answer for x equation first. Okay, alright, so I erase this one. Okay, so we will continue step number 2 here lah. We proceed to step number 2 here. So we start with x double prime x equal to k, and we have 1 over 4 t prime over t equal to k. Okay, step number 2, we have 3 cases that you need to consider. Okay, for case number 1 is k equal to lambda square or positive. So, okay, like I said, we start with the x equation, k equal to e, and then so bring to this side. Okay, so this second order, so the same thing like I said for the in the previous video. How to solve this one, you need to refer to chapter 2. Okay lah, I tunjuk satu. So this is x double, so which is it will become m square minus lambda square, right? So m square equal to lambda square, m equal to plus minus lambda. So plus minus lambda, is this real and this thing we all repeated. It's not complex conjugate because f doesn't have any I here, but real repeated or real this thing. So even though this is a lambda, the same thing is a real and real what we call real repeated. This is not real repeated because the symbol or the sign here is plus minus. So it's a real and this thing. So your equation for x is c1e lambda x plus c2e negative lambda x.